Okay, guys and gals, about 10 seconds of the obligatory disclaimer. If you want to read the whole thing, just pause the video. All right, everybody, let's take a look and see what happened in the stock market today. As I'm doing this video, Friday, the 14th, January 14th, the market's about to close. At least the intraday is going to close in about 3 minutes. So that's what we're looking at here. I said a few days ago that I didn't think that I wouldn't be surprised if the market came back down going into January 13th. And what's today? The 14th. And what happened? Babamski. Guys, these cycles are like right on the button. Okay, that cycle I think said January 13th. Yeah, and today's the 14th. Okay, you really can't ask for better. I said back here on this candlestick right there that is either this one or this one. I said I don't think it's done yet. I think there's more price decline to come. I think I even said there might be a little bounce, but then it's going to come back below the 50. Well, sure enough. Okay. And there you go. Absolutely nailed it on this cycle, guys. Look at that. Right on the kisser. This cycle was absolutely nailed. Okay. Absolutely nailed it. So just looking at other cycles coming up. Okay, there goes the intraday. Just closed. But of course, the futures market will continue on till 4 p.m. Central Standard Time here in the great state of Texas. Now, I talked about this, I think, 2 days ago, which, by the way, I'm going to cover all the futures products today. Today's Friday. I'm going to cover all of them. So for your premium members that are watching this, look below the video, in the description below the video. There'll be all the links for all the different products. Okay, all the futures products and commodities that I just mentioned. Okay, you know, the S&P 500 hourly, the crude, the gold, the grains, the live and feeder cattle, all of it. The links are below this video. So if you want to jump to a particular commodity or futures product, you can. Okay. So anyway, back to the video here. I was talking about last few days that I've been looking at this, and I said, you know, I expect the first week of February, which is approximately right in this area, from about February 2nd, okay, 2-2, out to about February 9th. Okay. Okay, for my international friends, I know that you do I think you do the month first, then I think you guys all do the month first and then the days, right? So for my international friends in Europe and the rest of the world, I think you do it like that, correct? Okay, so take your pick. All right, maybe I'm wrong. That would be September. I don't know how you guys do it. Never mind. I'm just screwing things up here. Anyway, February 2nd through February 9th. Okay. So that area right in there, I think, is a pretty good chance. Let me clear the screen. Whatever prices are going to do, let's say they do that. I don't know if they're going to continue to slope down like that, but they might. Okay. You know, I think we'll get price decline down into that time frame. Okay. Right in there. Now, I'm not saying it's going to come all the way down here to 4,500. It might, whatever. Okay. But I expect some type of either price stall or price decline. So whatever prices are doing. Okay, now let's get into this a little bit deeper. Okay, this is for everybody. Obviously, general public's getting this part of the video, right? So here's the middle of this cycle. Let's do the big cycle. This is a big daily cycle. Okay, we obviously have I have two little cycles in here. They're a little bit skewed, right? They're not exactly perfectly in alignment. But over here, where this cycle and this bigger cycle, these are both daily cycles, by the way, they're coming together like that. Okay, that's a good chance of price decline. So anyway, the middle of this green cycle, let me just draw that cycle one more time, okay, is about right there. So what's that date? January 17th or 18th, okay? January 17th or 18th right there, which today is the 14th. So once we get to the middle of this cycle, January 17th, 18th, you know, we'll start really paying attention to the price action in the S&P 500 as it gets closer and closer to that first week of February, right? Because as you get to this side of the middle of this big green cycle, the chances become greater and greater that the price is going to start coming down. We'll just have to see how much. It may be up here and then come down. Okay? It doesn't really matter where the price is necessarily. Just be aware as you get into February 2nd through February 9th that there's a chance for prices to decline. Wherever it's at, let's say a week before that. It's like the last week of January. So like maybe January 23rd or 24th or somewhere around there, 25th. You want to start paying attention to the price action starting to come down, right? Whether it's down here, whether prices are down in this area coming down, whether they're way up here coming down, doesn't really matter. You can take advantage of those price declines because I think it's going to happen. All right. Essential love you guys so much. We're going to go and look at the monthly as well. Let me switch over to my drawing set for the monthly. Okay, remember, this cycle I have ending on the monthly chart June. Okay, maybe the end of June. So the middle of the summer. Okay. And we've had price divergences going on for months. Okay. So the red dots on both these indicators are saying that prices, even though prices are going up, we got divergence going on. Okay. So I expect prices to come down going into the middle of the summer of 2022. We might even get that 1,000-point decline I've been talking about. We'll see how it turns out. But I think you're going to get some relatively significant price decline going into the middle of 2022. That's what this cycle is telling us. Okay. Let's back out here a little bit. Let's back out. Let's look. Do these cycles make sense or don't they? Yeah, they make sense. Look at this one. This was over here in 2015. Look at that. Here's one in 2009. Everybody remembers that one. Grabowski's. 2000, I think this was 2002. The lows, and yeah, 2002, 2003. This one. All the way from over there. Years in the making. Same with this one. All these are like two years in the making. Okay, this one was whatever, maybe like a year and a quarter. So guess what? Guess what? You don't know what I'm going to say? Well, I'm about to tell you what I'm going to say. I think that this price decline, just on this chart, that's 1 year right there. That's all 2022. And I'll just skew it a little bit up to the top. That's 2023. Okay? So future is going this way, guys. Right? We're obviously right here. And we're heading that way. So I think we're looking at probably a year or two's worth of decline. It could happen faster. We may get a big flash crash. That could definitely happen. But I could see it happening like that, okay? Down here to 3,500. Maybe even 3,200. Okay? So, now granted, we may not start declining from right where we're at this 48.08. That may not be the all-time high. It could be. Okay? I'm so sick of hearing about all-time high, guys and gals. I don't give a hoot about all-time high. It doesn't mean a damn thing to me. High, low, left, right, in, out. I don't care. Okay? Just take advantage of the price action. All-time high. Who cares? Okay? Who knows what Federal Reserve is going to do? And I know some people don't like me getting political, but, it's almost impossible to not bring it into the conversation. Because the Federal Reserve, in the past, every time they try to squeeze, right? And every time they try to raise interest rates, the stock market crashes, and then the politicians and other manipulators scream at the Federal Reserve, and then the Federal Reserve backpedals, right? So, they say one thing and do another just like that. But this time, who knows? Maybe they don't have a choice. Or maybe they know exactly what they're doing and they don't care if the U.S. economy crashes and burns. Who knows what they really think behind closed doors, right? So anyway, my point being that currently, okay, just theoretically, if that were to continue to do that, right, it doesn't really matter. The point being that the distance between there and there is all we're really talking about. That distance. It hasn't changed, or you can even think of this one as amplitude. Okay, it hasn't changed. Okay, but it will. And what's eventually going to happen is this, on the monthly chart, we're still on the monthly charts, hang with me on this. What's eventually going to happen is this is going to start to kind of flatten out and roll over, and this is going to start coming down. Okay, and eventually they're going to come together. Okay, right there, I'm just eyeballing this, that's like 3,800. Okay, I think it's going to be more than that. I think we're going to come down below 3,500, somewhere in here, like 3,200, 33, 34, somewhere in that area, okay? So, 2022, 2023, yep, somewhere in the middle of this summer. Looks like it's something significant going on there. Maybe we'll get a big portion of that decline. The first big wave down going into the summer. All right, enough of that. Let's move on to the weekly. Let me change the drawing set. Now, I don't really, the weekly, ho-hum, I don't really. The next weekly cycle low is May 8th. That's what I got on here. Which is about 5 weeks, no, more than that, sorry. It's about maybe 7 or 8 weeks from that big June cycle on the monthly chart. So this weekly cycle is May 8th, okay? And the monthly chart is like kind of the end of June. So that's a good almost 2 months, maybe like 7 weeks difference. Okay? So they're not perfectly in sync, but it just goes to show you that I think we could get that big price decline anywhere from May all the way to like July. That's what this tells me. If I look at both the weekly cycle low coming up in May and the monthly low coming up at the end of June, that just tells me we could have a significant price decline May through like July. And remember, when I say price decline, that's the low area. So prices would have to be coming down, right, during that time. It isn't just going to do this and then drop straight down. You follow me? It's not going to do that, at least not most likely. All right, so I don't really take too much off this weekly chart because it's just garbage. I just look at the cycles, how much time. For those who don't know what cycle analysis, that's basically just time. From here to there, that's an element of time. And then another cycle. You see price lows tend to happen when cycles come together, okay? There's a lot more to that, but I'm not going to dive too deep into it right now. One of these days, I'm going to put up a website, and all the premium members, you guys can come over to the website instead of being on YouTube. That absolutely is the most deplorable, ridiculous platform. Charging me an arm and a leg just to have premium members is ridiculous. And guys and gals, the reason I say that is because I'll actually pass some of the savings on to the premium members. So instead of paying $5.99, you might pay $5.25. As if it could get any cheaper at $5.99, but actually it could. I could actually slightly lower the premium membership rate. So who knows? I'm going to maybe over the summer or something, I'll try to get that done. Okay, premium members. Let's look at the hourly chart. What we got going on here? Remember I said on the daily that, look at this, guys. Is this ridiculously accurate or what? Look at this, man. Are you kidding me? How good is that cycle? Oh my gosh. If you guys aren't making money off this $5.99 membership, I don't know what to say. Look at these cycles, man. Bam, bam, bam. This one's pretty close. Okay, I don't know how you're not. This one was obviously very aggressive, right? We didn't really get a cycle low. We got this little dinky thing there. I talked about this thing, I think 2 days ago. I said I don't think this is everything. I think it's going to come down. You're going to get something. When did I say it was? Well, there it is right there. Let me get the mouse to play nice. Yeah, 6 a.m. And when did it happen? 7 a.m., guys. 7 a.m. within 1 hour. Okay, I'm sorry, 5 a.m. Within 2 hours. The cycle low was within 2 hours. It started at 5 and came down by 7. Look at that. That's ridiculous. Y'all should be I should be charging y'all $100 for these premium memberships. All right. So that's really, really good. Now there's some strength here. Looks like there's a bounce going on. Okay. So we'll see what happens up here going into Sunday night, Monday. Because this session is almost over. There's not much going on right now as Friday's getting ready to close. Right? This is the 3 o'clock hour, and that's pretty much going to be it right there. I don't expect too much going on between now and the next half an hour, 45 minutes. But even though this looks pretty strong right now, the next cycle low is January 17th, about 2 a.m. Texas time, Central Standard Time here in the United States. But see, the thing you got to understand is with cycle analysis is you can't ignore the other indicators. Okay, this cycle here, this big monster drop down, this big monster decline in price down into that cycle, that was an absolute given that was going to happen. Why? Because look at this. Look what was going on. MACD was telling us, get ready. You could see from here to here to here on the Big Daddy, that going down. Even if you don't have the Big Daddy, which I know most of you don't have this algorithm, that's fine. Look at the stochastic momentum index. Down. Just do like you did when you were a kid. Connect the dots. Down. Okay, so everything's telling you the stochastic momentum index, the MACD. If you look at those two together, look at the gaps here in the MACD, the gap here in the MACD. It's telling you the price is going to decline. So that gives more credence and weight coming into these hourly cycle lows. You follow me? Now it's kind of moving the other way. So this cycle low over here, which is 2 a.m. on January 17th here in the great state of Texas, may not be, the decline may not be as I don't want to say severe, but it may not be as dynamic, right? So we'll have to wait to see how this Sunday, Monday plays out. Like it may get above this and then just kind of flatten out on this or come down a little bit. But if it stays below this 50 and kind of gets rejected, then it may come down really hard into there. So it's going to have a lot to do with the price action of below or above the 50 hour, okay? That's how that's going to work. Okay. I'm not going to look at the 5-minute chart, guys, because you should have made a lot of money on this today. This is just an absolute monster mash cycle. There was no reason not to trust that cycle analysis. Just huge. Beautiful thing. Look at that. Look at this. Everything's pointing this way. Everything's pointing this way. Pointing this way. The cycle's telling you there's a cycle low. And sure enough, it happened. Okay? Now, don't go running off and saying that when it doesn't happen, like let's say this one comes up and gets above the 50 and then just kind of flattens out across this cycle, then takes off. Don't give me a comment and say, hey, it didn't work this time, because you got to be aware of what the other indicators are telling you, okay? So certain cycle lows or where the cycle is going to end are going to be stronger depending on what the indicators and the momentum is doing, okay? So be aware of that. Okay, but this should have been a monster mash money-making day. Huge. Just like this one back over here. Look at this one. And this one. I mean, dang. That one was a little bit harder to read because we had flat action going on. That was harder to read. But it got rejected here, and somewhere right about there, you should have been making money. Okay, it got rejected off the 15, stayed below it. All right, let's switch over to crude oil. Enough messing around with the S&P 500. Okay. Wow, crude oil looks super strong, $84, which, by the way, I'm working right now contracting for an oil pipeline company here in Texas. And they move a lot of oil. Yeah, they move a lot of oil. And so for me, they don't drill for oil, but they're part of the oil industry. They transport oil. So when I see oil prices up like this, I'm a happy camper, obviously, because I'm working on oil pipeline software. That's what I'm working on right now. Oil pipeline repair software and stuff like that. That's what they got me working on, okay? So yeah, when the oil's flowing at $84 a barrel, plus I have my own side business, a small business, where we actually do some boutique distillation of crude oil. So really nice. This is awesome to see oil up here at $84. Monster mash. Let's see. What is this cycle here? 116. Man. I mean, the crude oil is so strong. This is your 116 right there. That's the 113, which we saw. Well, it hasn't even gotten there yet. Today's the 14th. There's a theoretical low on the 16th. This thing is so strong right now, it's crazy. But I am seeing some divergence warnings. See these right here? Divergence warnings popping up all over the place. Be aware of that, guys. I'm seeing divergence warnings showing up. Okay. As a matter of fact, what is this? What is this right here on the Big Daddy? 432, yeah. Okay. That's pretty significant. Let me go way back over here and see something. 378. Wow. Okay, that's a pretty big number. 40. Okay, so right back here. Is it this day? Yeah. January 12th, guys, was a monster day on the Big Daddy forecast. 432. Well, some of you want to know what I'm talking about. You probably, especially for new members. I'm looking at this number right here. Big Daddy Forecast, my own algorithm. Just keep an eye on this circle right here, okay, as I hover over the candlestick. Let's look at it together. 432, okay? Is that a big number? Yeah, it's a pretty big number, and all the way since even back to springtime of 2021, no number's been higher than that in crude oil that I can see of. That is a very big number, okay? So why is that a big deal? Because the higher the number on the Big Daddy Forecast, the greater the chance for a price decline. That's the way it works. Okay, so with that being said, and I'm seeing these divergence warnings, which is those red dots and yellow dots on both these indicators, okay? And though the MACD looks like it's trying to, you could drive a freaking 3 or 4 semis through there. Just heads up, I think oil's going to pull back a little bit here. It's going to pull back. It may not happen right here on the 16th, but it could. Sometimes it could do that. You might get this big candlestick come down. We'll see. Okay? If it doesn't happen there, then watch out for February 7th. Another cycle, just like the S&P 500, for February 7th. First week of February, guys, is looking like a monster cycle for a lot of products. Okay, so be aware the crude oil, I think, is going to pull back either in the next couple trading days, 2 or 3 trading days, or going into February, perhaps both. Really keep an eye on that. I think crude oil is going to surprise some people and do a little pullback. All right. That's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to cover the hourly okay, you know what? We'll look at the monthly. We're going to give you guys a full Monty today. The full Monty, the full service. Back in the day when I was a kid, pulled into a gas station, you got full service. They don't do that anymore. The world's all gone to hell. Okay, monthly chart. Interesting. Some divergence warnings here on the monthly chart. Little bit divergence going on here. But that big candlestick there, which is December, November, must have been October, yeah. So maybe we can ignore it. I'm not sure yet. I got to think about that one. Okay. Forget these cycles here. These are not monthly cycles. I don't think I have a drawing chart. No. I'm going to say, I'm going to do this live for you guys right here. I love you all so much that we are going to see create a new drawing set. Yeah, there. I think that's create new. We're going to put here daily. Let me call it crude daily because I got to make sure. I think it's not going to matter, but call it crude daily. That's crude daily right there. Okay, now we'll go back to default. Oh man, why did it do that? See, I'm not getting any love. So here's what we're going to do. I did that wrong. I think we can just say save. We're going to call it crude. I think it's going to either tell me I can't do this or it's going to replace it. Yeah, name already. Okay, just call it daily then. Daily. Okay. Let me get down to crude daily. Let me delete it. Delete crude daily. Okay, yes, delete crude daily. All right, so now that's cool. So now I'll go back to default. And why am I doing all that? Because I'm gonna give you guys the cycles for the monthly. You know how much I love you guys, man, huh? Okay, let's look at this together. Let's look at the monthly cycles. Let's start. This one would be ideal way back in April of 2020, but we're going to pull from right here because this is pretty significant. So let me just stretch this out a little bit. Let's get a little more breathing room into this bad boy. Let's start from right in here. Let's see what kind of cycles I can spot here. This is not bad. Yeah, right here's okay. This is pretty good. Where does that end? Yeah, November. So that's right there. That's pretty good. And then we got a cycle low right approximately there. There looks good there. It's pretty good. And then going back, it starts to fall apart a little bit, but that's okay. So we got several cycles that are good. Can everybody see that? You understand how this works, guys? The price low is right here. We match up with the cycle low. This price low is right here. It's within a month or two. That's good. This one's right on the button. This one's on the button. This one's about a month or two late, but that's okay. All right, that's how it works. So we got about 4 decent cycles there in the month, okay? It's sufficient. Now I'm going to change this to, let I'm trying to think what color am I going to use for the monthly. I'm going to go with purple. I think it's purple. I've been using purple. There we go. All right, so now with that being done, let's take a look. May 28th, 2023. That's how far out that next cycle is. Wow. Okay, that's way over here. May 28th, 2023. So no worries there. But doesn't mean there won't be price declines. That's just a big cycle. All right, so that's my take on the monthly. Let's look at the weekly. Okay, let me go. Let me go back to the monthly for a second, because otherwise I'm going to forget. Let me save this. Yeah, save. We'll call this one monthly. Okay, so now I've got the daily and the monthly in there for you guys. Okay, let's look at the weekly. And we're going to have to switch back to default. Then we'll get rid of that. Remove it. Let me just double check that monthly's still good. Yeah, see, that still looks good there. The daily looks good there. Oh, yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Okay. All right, so let's look at the weekly. You guys are getting a full service today. Let's look at these together. That looks pretty good right about there. The weekly is such... The weekly is... I don't put a lot of credence in weekly. I always say that because it's just kind of a garbage chart. It really doesn't work very well. You got to pull from different places. It doesn't always line up right. This one's okay. I'm seeing some decent alignment. There's one here that's within a few weeks. This one's pretty solid. So what am I talking about? This complex right here is pretty good with that. That one's obviously good with that one. This one's pretty good with this one. And then it kind of falls apart here, but the one way back here looks good. Okay, so we've got quite a few that lined up on the weekly. All right, and then for the weekly, what I'm going to do is make this kind of a light blue color, and that'll be the weekly color. Okay, so with that in mind, April 17th, 2022 would be the next cycle low on the weekly chart. And even though I don't really like the weekly chart, I don't use it much for trading other than just the cycles. And the other thing I do look at is whether or not it comes, how does it interact with the 50-week moving average? That's important. Okay. So just a quick look. The weekly chart actually looks pretty strong. Everything looks strong here. I don't see these getting toppy yet. This looks like it wants to roll over. But this would be the time frame, and I'd be checking when we get closer to this time frame, which again I think was April 17th. We'll look at the monthly, the weekly, and the daily together and see if we have any kind of cycle alignment. Okay, that's it for that. Okay, I'm not going to do this for every product today because otherwise I'd be here forever and a day. Let's move on to gold. For gold, let's look at the daily. Wowzers. Gold just kind of riding along. This was pretty nice action, but just kind of riding along that 50, yeah. For just look at that, like weeks of just riding along the 50, a little below it, a little above it, and a little below, a little above, just hanging around the 50. Okay. Let me get rid of this. This is probably hourly. Let me get that off of there. I said I wasn't going to do it, but I'm going to do it right here. Before I go any further, let's just check these cycles. Yeah, they look pretty good. This is good. This is pretty good. This is kind of a complex low, but it's still good, good, good. Okay, that's good for a long way back. Oh my goodness. Looks pretty good. Okay. Of course, those are probably... there's a lot of effect here because of the way contracts end, but... Anyway, that's a discussion for another day. All right, so these cycles look pretty solid. I'm not going to change them. So where are we here? January 26th. Okay, that's this cycle low here. January 26th. So those that are interested in gold, there you go. That's a daily cycle low. And it does look like there could be some weakness creeping in here. Maybe. But then again, this was a recent low, so this could be false flags. Okay, so I wouldn't put too much credence into this just yet. But yeah, January 26th is that weekly low right there. So the daily low. Since I'm on that, we're going to save that. We're going to call that daily. No, I'm not going to do the weekly and the monthly right now. Okay, but we'll at least do the daily. So there's your daily, and next time I come in here, we got the daily set up. Okay. All right, so just be aware of that. Gold looks like it's going to come down January 26th. Looks like that's what's going on. Okay, quick look at the monthly and the weekly here. Wow, flat as a doornail. Just tracking sideways. Look at this stuff. Overall, gold looks weak on the MACD, but it's just been tracking sideways. Though this right here, and I talked about this, I think, in December. This stuff. I don't know how much longer that can hold on. How much longer is that going to stick around before something happens? Let's take a look at this together. We got this going on. A little sloppy line, but it's good enough. Okay. Okay, if that continues, I mean this right here, down, up, down, up. Okay, I tell you what. Let's get a little bit more serious about this because this looks very interesting here. Let's draw from right there, and we'll put a line. Yeah, it's okay. We're gonna extend that out there, way out there. And even though I normally wouldn't pull from way back there, we're gonna do that. Okay. Something kind of like that, guys. Okay, and now let's get this to stand out a little bit so we can actually see it. Okay. And there you go. There's your triangle, the old triangle. Came up into the triangle, came down, touched. We're going to call that a touch even though technically it really isn't. Almost is. Down, up. Okay, I would expect gold to come down. 1674, March. There it is. Okay, that's it on the monthly chart. 1674 is a price target in the month of March. Unless it breaks up above. Unless right now it breaks out above this. Okay, if it does, then great, we'll reevaluate. But for now, March of this year, I expect prices to come all the way down to like 1674, 1680, somewhere in there, okay? Maybe it might be 1690, whatever, 1700. But look at this, guys. We're at 1816, okay? So that's a good, you know, that's not quite 100 points, but it's you could see I could see a 100-point price drop going into spring of 2022. All right, let's go look at the weekly. Again, ignore these green arcs on the previous chart for the monthly and the weekly. That's only daily. Okay, let me just go back to default. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Get these out of here. Remove that. If I go back to the monthly. Okay, so it should look like that, right? It's going to look like that. Okay, I shouldn't have put that on there for daily, but whatever. This should really be called monthly. Okay, now I'm going to be forced to say this is monthly. Y'all making me do this, you know that? You're all making me do it. Monthly. Okay, and then back onto the daily chart, daily drawing set. I got to get rid of these. Probably shouldn't have done that. What happens if I go back to monthly? Yeah, it looks good. Go back to daily. And remove it. See what daily shows. Yeah. Monthly. If I go back to monthly, what do we get? Just making sure this is all good. Okay, it looks good. That's a monthly. If I go back to daily and I switch to the daily drawing set, okay, that's good. Right? So now back to the monthly. Switch to monthly. And what I'm going to do here is get rid of these cycle brackets because they shouldn't be on there for the monthly. Okay, so now one more time. Back to the daily drawing set. And there they go. There's the daily cycles only on the daily drawing set. If we go to the monthly, we get that. We switch to monthly time frame, and bingo. All right, much better. All right, now let's look at the weekly. Okay, and we'll go back to the default. All right, what's up with the weekly on the gold here? Just riding along. Just riding along. I'm not even going to bother with cycles on the weekly. It's just garbage. Look at this. Okay. Just riding along to 50. Okay, so that's my take on gold. Okay. One more look at the daily chart. Just be aware. Cycle low about January 26th for gold. Okay, right there, January 26th. All right, we're moving on to natural gas. And what is up with this? What is going on here? Okay. Cycle low January 17th, and look at that. It's coming into it. Look at another great cycle. Let me save this as daily. Daily for natural gas. Okay, so here it is, guys and gals. On the natural gas, January 17th is the expected daily cycle low. And look what this is doing. I'm telling you, I should charge $50 for premium membership, 100. I should charge way more than I'm unbelievable. You know what my problem is? I'm too damn nice. Too nice. All right, so expect that. I think prices will continue to decline potentially for the next few trading days for natural gas. Okay, it looks strong here, but the short term says we're going down. Okay, so I think what's going to happen here on natural gas, just my take on this, I'm only going to look at the daily chart for the natural gas right now. It's going to come down in the next few days, maybe the next week, approximately somewhere around there. Okay, then I think it's going to bounce and start getting strong again coming up into this next cycle. Okay, if you want to know what the next cycle low is, way out there, okay, that would be February 15th. Again, for natural gas, this is the second week of February, and all those other products so far have been the first week of February. Wow, that's going to be a monster. First week of February is going to be a monster week for products, and I mean to the downside. All right, let's move on to wheat. Wheats. What is this one? January 19th. Oh, look at this, coming down right into... Oh my gosh, these cycles are just nailing it. Let me put here daily on the drawing set. Okay. So for this... January 19th? Yeah, January 19th, guys and gals. Right here for wheat. So again, very similar to natural gas. Next week, and maybe late into next week, possibly early in the following week, but, excuse me, watch out for wheat to come down. Going into January 19th. Okay? It doesn't look like it's done. It looks like there's more to go. Okay, that's shortable. Okay, don't forget, guys and gals, you can trade XW if you want to trade the smaller contracts. I know and I'm about to cover oats here, and I know one of my premium members picked up some oat contracts and has done very well. And congratulations, that's awesome. Okay, I actually traded oats too. And I think I made like $1,800 on oats, or I think I gave a little back. If I remember right, made like $1,500 on one oats contract. Okay, I haven't been trading lately because I've been busy doing other stuff. But, so don't be afraid to trade this. I think this is shortable going into next week. Okay, obviously financial advice only. I mean, I don't give financial advice; it's opinion only. Okay, as the beginning of the video stated. All right, not financial advice, right? My opinion only, but in my opinion, I think it's shortable. Though it's definitely a little early. It's definitely late in the game to short, right? I mean, this has been shortable for a better part of a month, more than that, month and a half. Okay, but I think it's still shortable for the next few days. Okay. All right. So I am going to take a look at monthly. Like I said, I wasn't, but I'm going to do it anyway because you guys. Wow. Just wow. Forget about it. Forget about it. This is going to happen. Wheat will come below $700. It's going to happen. Okay? And just, eyeballing this, oats is even more obvious, but if I just eyeball, let me just zoom way out here. Okay, I haven't done this with wheat. Let me just zoom way out. I'm looking at this. I can just see the average price. This is actually this line approximately right here is kind of the average price for wheat. That's probably even a little high. But if we put it right there, okay, look at even I could see it and just eyeballing, and it's right in line with the average with the 50-month moving average at 567. And when you do this stuff as long as I've been doing this for decades, you can eyeball averages over long periods of time. I just eyeball the chart. It's actually probably just a little bit lower, kind of like right in there. Okay, more like about 500, but even 567, which is exactly where the simple moving average is for the monthly, the 50-month. And that's where I think oats is going to come back down to, below 600. Okay, I think it'll even get down into the high 400s. Okay, not all in one month, not all in one day or 1 week, but it's going to happen. Okay, now let's zoom back in a little bit here. Okay, just let me switch over to default. Get rid of this cycles, because a lot of people, oh, your cycles are wrong. All right, because I didn't tell you that those aren't supposed to be on that chart. Everybody calm down, take a couple deep breaths. Let's draw the monthly charts together, shall we? The $5.99 special you're all getting here. Drawing. Let's draw these cycles together. Let's see, can I pick out some cycles here? They're a little bit shaky, but there's enough meat on this bone to pick out some cycles, it looks like. All right. There's definitely something right here. It looks like there's something coming up right there, but we're going to pull from about right there. Tiny little guys. We could try to go monster cycle here. Yeah, that's pretty good. There's some cycles in between those, but this is pretty good. Okay, so I'm gonna pull from right here. We're gonna try this again. I really don't want to miss that cycle because that cycle looks really good. Okay, boom, 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 boom. It's not bad. That's not bad, but it's not great. It's just okay. There's more than one monthly cycle going on here. There's some smaller cycles in between here, so I'm trying to... Let me look at this one. Okay, we're back to kind of this one here. Good, good, pretty good, pretty good. It's not bad. This is just okay. Where does that put it at? January 29th. See, this is pretty good. This one's pretty good. Though I see there's a really nice cycle low right there. This one's pretty good, but there's also something maybe like right here. So that's a tough one to call. Like, this is a very weak, extreme left-hand translation right here. Kabamski. Or this is the real cycle low. But it seems to line up pretty good with this, though, this one or this one. So that's still pretty decent. I think this is a pretty good cycle. So I'll keep that. That looks pretty good, even though the real low's way over here. But this is pretty solid. Let's go back a little further. Squishy this up. Yeah. This is pretty good for big cycles. So with that in mind, January 31st would be a monthly cycle low. Wow. Which very well could be what we're seeing here. I'm going to leave it like that for now. I think there's some overlapping cycles. There may be some smaller cycles inside of here. That looks like a cycle low to me. This one does. This does. That kind of does. This one. So there's some cycles like kind of in the middle of or moving around in the middle of these cycles. There's one like right there, here. There's one here a little early. There's one, this one's actually pretty good right in the middle. Here's one right in the middle. So you could probably split these larger cycles up into two. I'm not going to do it right now. So just bear that in mind, that would put us in June of 2023 would be another cycle low. So wheat is one of those products where the cycles are a little bit, they're not as definitive. You follow what I mean? So there you go. Let me change this over to purple for the monthly, we're going to save this as monthly. All right. Yeah, wheat looks like it wants to come down. Just on that monthly cycle, boy, that looks like it wants to come down. Okay, let's switch over to the weekly. Okay. Now here on the weekly, the cycles look pretty solid. Let me do the weekly cycles here for wheat. Okay, just okay. This is just okay. Bing, bong, bringy. We could probably go one more. Except it gets a little bit out of sequence here. Yeah, this is pretty good actually. Yes, way back here it even lines up. This is good. This is good. This is not really something there. This section is a little shaky, but we get this one here, which is pretty solid, pretty solid, pretty solid within like a few weeks. Nailed it there. Not so good there. And then this one. So again, February 13th. There's another one. Wow. Guys, watch out for that first week of February. I'm just eyeballing, pulling charts, pulling cycles kind of quick here, and things just keep lining up with that February, early mid-February. I'm telling you what, there's something's going to happen there. This is going to be the light blue for weekly. Okay, and then we'll save that and call it the weekly schmeekly. Okay. So be aware of that. That's February 7th right there. This has got February 13th, but even February 7th, guys, again, all the products point to that first week of February. Wow, monster mash. Okay, and this is definitely showing spoosh. All right, that's it for wheat. We're going to move on to oats. Okay, daily. Okay, forget about oats on cycles. I mean, they're just, I'm going to try. I know somebody asked about oats, so one of the premium members asked about oats. So what is my take on oats? Someone wants to know, when should I exit? Well, oats cycle is stinky. Okay, it's barely even noticeable. It just isn't very good. So you can't apply cycle analysis to oats as well as you can other products, okay? Excuse me, I get a drink here. So it's going to be a little bit more difficult. But let's see what we can do. I wouldn't put a lot of credence in these cycles I'm about to draw, so just keep that in mind. There's clearly one way back here. There's something there. There might be something right there and there. Okay, a little something there, there. So let's see if we can pull from some of these obvious spots. And let's just see how it works out. Yeah, actually, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Here. This one's kind of mushed. Kind of this top got a little bit tricky. But that's within a few days, so I like that. All right, so with that in mind, let me change this to green, which is my color for daily. Okay. Again, I wouldn't put a lot of credence in these cycles, but we're going to do it anyway. Call this daily for the oats. And where does that put oats low? January 26th. Okay, so for that premium member and others, I know not a lot of people trading the grains, especially not oats, but for that premium member who wanted to know, January 26th right there. Okay, I know you made some nice profit already on oats. Congratulations on that. But look at this. And it looks like it wants to bounce. Okay. So I don't give financial advice, but my opinion, this is interesting right here. It looks like one's going even lower. But my opinion is I'd sell it. I'd sell it. There could be more decline coming into January 26th, but these cycles aren't very reliable. But I would sell it And there's, that's just my take on it. But here's the thing. You're a trader. You know the story. Okay? If prices start bouncing back, okay, and you're seeing on the daily chart things bouncing back, you could wait for that if you want. If you get a big green candlestick and get out, you're going to give some money. You're going to give some of your profit back. But if you want to wait till that long, that's fine. Just be aware that right now, let's zoom in a little bit more here now. Okay, just be aware that this is starting to get kind of far away from the 50-day moving average, right? And so that's the risk increases. The further away pricing gets away from the 50 on whatever chart, in this case it's daily, the greater the chance it's going to return to it. Okay, now this could decline, and then it returns to it way over here, but it could spike and do one of those. You know what I mean? It's hard to say exactly what's going to happen. Okay, but January 26th, today's the 14th, we're talking only 12 calendar days away. Okay, so, you can see sometimes this product just kind of, right? It's like some of these cycles are not really super clear. This one ended early and then bounced. It got a nice rejection off the 50, which was nice, but it may not have. But, okay, and we're going to look at the monthly and the weekly because I think long-term Oats is I'm not going to say big trouble, but price is going to go down, like dramatically. Okay, but, how you manage your future contracts and what month, I don't remember the Oats. I think is it every other month or every 3 months? I think it's every other month, I think, on this product. Okay, I don't think it's a monthly contract. I think it's every other month. But whatever it is, you obviously got to manage and know your expiration dates, right? So I don't have a problem if it was me. You've already got a lot of nice profit on the table. Okay, maybe cut it down. I think it was 6 contracts, if I remember right. Whatever you got, doesn't really matter. Maybe sell 75% of them. Get off the table, take your profit 3 out of 4 contracts. So if you've got 6, whatever, sell 4 of them, keep 2, right? Keep 2 contracts. That's not 75%, but yeah, it is. But you know what I mean. Okay? So that might be something if you want to keep a little bit skin in the game, as they say. Then just sell most of your contracts, but hold on a few. Okay? You can always reacquire after you see what it does coming up out of this low. Okay? Remember, this may finish early or it may finish late. Okay? But there's a little bit of something going on here that say that Oats might get a bounce. Okay? There's a little something here saying that Oats might get this little bounce going on. Okay? So I think to be on the safe side, take some profit off the table, sell some of the contracts if you're currently holding them. You can still, and then keep 1 or 2 contracts, whatever, small position going down into this low, see what it does. If it gets a bounce, you might want to sell the rest of your positions as it bounces. Because I think if I remember right, you said you shorted them. Okay? So do that. That's my opinion. Okay, let's look at the monthly. Let me scroll to the right. Now, monthly, I think Oats got a long way to go. Okay? So let me just get over to default, get rid of this. Okay. So it looks like to me monthly, their divergence warning has been there for a while. Okay, this was absolutely monster mash. Nice short position. Okay, I think there's more to come. Just like I've been saying several times, I said in Oats that people are going to make millions of dollars on Oats. And some already have. Look at this. How can they not make a bunch of money? Look at this. Bunch of money going this way, bunch of money going that way. Okay. Hedge funds, whatever. They're making a lot of money. So again, I'm going to eyeball this product, just kind of eyeball it, and I can just tell approximately where the average is on this product. It's kind of like right there. Okay. And I didn't even look up here at this price. 336 is the 50-month moving average, okay? I have it a little bit lower, just eyeballing it. I have it right around 300. But guess what? Even if you play this super safe, Oats will come below $500. It's going to come down into the 400s. And I think eventually it may play out for a few years. Look at this. Look how long it took Oats to play out this. Look at this. Literally 2.25 years. This one was a little faster, about 1.25 years, maybe 1.5 years. Okay. So we're right in the middle of this big price decline. Okay. or at the beginning of it even. So I think it'll come below 500 like easily. I think it's going to come down into here, and eventually it's going to come down into, okay. I think it'll get below 500 pretty easily. And then, and that may happen in 2022, because just so you know, this is 2022 right here, this whole line. And this whole line would be 2023. And then eventually I think we're going to get below 400. And okay, but below 500 is going to happen. Okay, managing your contracts and when they expire, that's the art of trading futures, right? Part of it anyway. All right, so cycle-wise, this is going to be kind of shaky. Let's see if we can pull some cycles. This is like this thing is pretty ugly. The cycles here on the monthly are just garbage. You could kind of pull it from there. That's about as best as I could get. So with that in mind, November of 2022, as good as any. Okay, but again, these cycles are really shaky on this product, so don't put a lot of credence into it. But we'll keep it on there for now. That's going to be purple. We'll go with blue. 2. We're going to save this as monthly. Okay. All right, let's check out weekly. You guys getting a full service. Oil change, wipe the windows. You're getting everything today. Wow, look at this. My goodness. Ooch. Okay. Man, oh man, look at that. 503. Okay. Let me go to default. Get rid of the cycles. That's the monthly. So, eventually, if this continues, which it may or may not, but if this continues, then the 50 weeks going to start to feel the pressure and want to roll over and flatten out, right? Whatever. And that puts us where? 550, 540. It looks like, it's hard to say what's going to happen here. Like this could bounce because these are looking like they're kind of getting exhausted, right? They're kind of getting down here and getting exhausted. Not quite yet, but they're really close. Okay, but this thing is so far above the 50, would not surprise me to see this thing do the Suez Canal, baby. Look at that. I think it's going to be something huge like that. It's going to happen. It might fiddle around in here a little bit, but this is going to get below this 50 at some point. I think it's going to come down somewhere here, maybe in 2022, get below the 50 and start trading down in here. Okay? But on the weekly right now, this long term, this is coming down. Short term, hard to say, next few weeks, especially that daily chart and that weekly chart, go back, pause the video, go back and watch it. Make sure you have a good feel for those cycles. Again, those cycles on this product are a little bit shaky, but manage that because we could get a little bounce here, and you don't want to be holding those. You know how oats is, man. When it moves, the profitability can come and go just like that. You're up 14K or 20K or 10K or whatever it is, 5K. Next thing you know, you're down 6, 7, 8K because it can happen like just that fast. Okay, so let's finish up the oats with doing the cycles. So I'm going to try to grab it somewhere in this area here because this is a cycle low here. And we're going to pull it to this one right here and see if we get anything else that looks good on the weekly. Or is it just all trash? There's nothing here. It's like we could try to move that around. Not very impressive. Okay. Let's try to pull from this one. It's a little better, but not much. That's about as good as it gets because we're getting a little hit right here on these two candlesticks. This is pretty solid. There's a little something right there. Definitely a decline down to there. That doesn't really line up too well. This one's pretty good. That one's pretty good. And that one's So we've got, out of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cycles, about 5 or 6 of them are decent. So that's about as good as it's going to get. So let's switch over to blue here for the weekly. Bang, bing, bong. Save this drawing set as the weekly. Okay. So where does that put you? Well, 1-9 already happened. Okay, that was this week. So look at that. Did you notice for those that are following this, and you want a little cycle analysis training here? I pulled from this little cycle right here because I could see that this cycle, just by eyeballing it, was going to probably land pretty decent on a few cycles. After a while, you can pick it up with your eye like really quick. So anyway, I didn't even look at this over here. I didn't pull from this because you can't really determine that the candlesticks furthest to the right, which is this one, is a cycle low. You can't do that. That's a big no-no. I mean, there are exceptions to that, but you don't want to do that. You want to pull prior to that. Now Now the other day I said you want to pull from the end, but in this case with Oates you don't want to do that. Is what I really want to say, because Oates' cycles are very shaky at best. So you want to pull from a very well-known low. And that would be the previous candlesticks, and that's this one or this one. Okay, as it turned out, this one was pretty good. Okay, so with that being said, look how good this turned out. I didn't even know when I was pulling it from here going that way. Look at this cycle. Week of 1-9. Look at this. That's this candlestick right here, 110. It absolutely lands right on it. But bam! Makes perfect sense to me. Now we get to, since this is really good. It looks like there's a lot more price decline to come based on the MACD. But short term, you might get a bounce here. Okay, if you don't get the bounce here and it continues down, then because there's so much selling going on, that means downward pressure could extend this cycle. Okay, it may extend this cycle like out to there, something kind of like that. That may happen. If it doesn't, and you begin to see green candlesticks, then then things are working like that. But my guess is, if I had to guess at all this, because of what I'm seeing at the MACD, what I think we're going to see is, even if we do get a price bounce, I think this cycle over here is going to be a weak cycle. It's going to get a left-hand translation, and it's going to do the old bombs a waysy. But we have to wait to see and get confirmation for that. Okay? That's my take on Oates. Let's switch over to live cattle. Shoot. I'm sorry. I got to check one thing on Oates. Let me just check. Yeah, okay, good. All right, live cattle. And wow, boom, bing, bang. Okay, that's pretty good. What is this? February 23rd is over here. Another one in February. February 23rd. Watch out for that. And what is the middle of this cycle? January 19th. I'd also watch out for the middle of this cycle, January 19th. Oh, excuse me. And February 23rd. For live cattle, February 22 contracts. Beware of those. This is look like it already came down into this middle of the cycle low. Might get a bounce there. It's like it's trying to bounce. So just for those that are following the cattle, the live cattle here, looks like you might get a bounce. We'll have to see how strong it is. But be aware, especially of this date, February 23rd. Could be a cycle, some more price decline. Up like that, it may come back down. We'll see. As we go into March, though, cattle can be seasonal, so we'll have to keep an eye on this product. Okay, let me save this. But right now, looks like a little bit of a bounce could happen on the daily for live cattle. Okay, it's given up a lot of territory from that 141 high all the way down to like 137.85. So we'll have to see. I think we're going to get a bounce on this. Let me put daily here for this live cattle cycle. Daily cycle. Okay. Looks like bounce is coming. Let's switch over to the monthly. Let's do default. I'm just going to get rid of that off the default. Looks strong on two of the indicators, and the short term, really short term, Big Daddy's trying to tell us something that might come down. Let's see if I can draw some cycles on this monthly. Looks like there's a cycle low there to there. You know, that pandemic low, I don't know. That thing on a lot of the futures products, commodities, not sure I really trust it. Let me go up. I want to pull from right there because it looks very legit to me. So there's interlacing cycles going on here. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. And then when the market changes direction, cycle length changes. Ding, burr, bing, burr, bing. It's pretty solid. Let's see. Really tight on this chart. Okay, that's okay. Yeah, there we go. Oh, I had it and I lost it. Yeah. That's pretty solid. They may look small, but this look, well, no. What happened here? Thought I had something I liked. Yeah. I like that. I like that. There. A little bit off there. Pretty good right there. Okay there. That's pretty good right there. Okay, good. I'm happy with that. Let's make this purple on the monthly. 2, say yeah. Now we can zoom in a little bit. And let me save this as monthly. Okay. So what do we got? What's the monthly low here for the live cattle? Yeah, March 31st. That's what I said. Seasonal. So March 31st. See, that's the cattle's not like a lot of the other commodities. You really got to be careful with cattle. Very different type of cycles. So March 31st, guys, cycle low for the monthly. Since we're halfway through January, okay, expect prices to come down into March 31st. Then we might see a nice good bounce. Okay, setting up for a price decline. Okay, all right, so that's the monthly. Let's go to the weekly. Switch over to the date default. Get this out of there. Okay, what do we got going on here? Weekly schmeeklies. Bing, bing. I need a little more data here. That's a little bit better. It's kind of some big cycles here, it looks like. Didn't want to do that. Let's try that again. Okay, there. It's pretty decent. Decent here, decent right in there, and even decent over here. Okay, I'm good with that. We'll change this to blue for weekly. Call this weekly. All right, so that's our weekly. So where does that get us going here? February 13th. Okay, see, now that's really important. Another lesson about cycle analysis here. And that is the monthly has 331, remember that? And this weekly has 313 right here. So that's good. That means these two dates, they're only like 2 weeks apart from each other. Okay? So I mean the chance for a price decline from the middle to the end of March is pretty high. That's what that means. Okay? All right, let's go back to the daily. And I want to see something. Whoops. One more look at the weekly here. Okay. Yeah. Okay, and switch to the daily. So where is that again? February 23rd. Okay, so we got February 23rd on the daily. We've got March 13th on the weekly. And we've got March 31st on the monthly. Okay, so they're not perfectly in alignment, right? But they're kind of in the ballpark. Okay, so the way I would interpret this is anywhere from probably like really late February to late March. So about a month, maybe 5 weeks period, for live cattle, you really want to be paying attention because prices are probably going to decline, right? Everybody got me? So I would say probably like, February 25, 26, something like that, all the way through the end of March. Okay, there's a good chance for a price decline in that time range. Okay, all right, let's switch over and finish up this video. It's been a long video to the feeder cattle. Okay, let me just confirm that these daily cycles look good. And they do look good. They look pretty snazzy, so I'm not going to change that. Okay, we're going to save this drawing set as daily for the feeder cattle. All right, so what's going on here? We're just covering cycle analysis today, guys. Give you guys all the goods. January 26th for the feeder cattle. Okay, these are the January 2022 contracts, so that's probably going to change real soon. It's because these contracts are going to expire pretty soon, but in any case, watch out for January 26th. Okay? And then after that, let's see. March 3rd. March 6th. March 6th. So, a little bit different than the live cattle, but still within the realm of the same month, right? The very end of February all the way through the end of March. Watch out for that time frame for feeder cattle for prices to decline. Wherever they happen to be, watch out for prices to decline, right? Okay. Let's go look at the monthly chart. And since I'm on a drawing cycle bonanza here, what do we got here? Yeah, not bad. Something not really there, but here's pretty good. It's okay, not too bad. It could probably be moved a little bit, but overall, I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this. These are going to be purple. Okay, call this monthly. Okay, so what's that? What does that do? May 30th. Wow. Okay, that does not line up with the daily, so that's okay. May 30th. Okay. So there's possible that there's another cycle here, but I'm not going to try to make a cycle that doesn't exist. This is my best take. So I'm not going to try to change that. For the monthly cycle, there it is, May 30th. Okay. Let me go look at the weekly chart. Okay. Back to default. Get that out of there. All right, weekly. Yeah, oh yeah, this is solid. Wow. Such a good weekly cycle. Now, for the feeder cattle, the weekly cycle is very good. Wow, that is just spot on. So that's going to be blue, light blue. Call that the weekly. Okay, so for the weekly cycle on the feeder cattle, this is really good. May 8th, which, by the way, lines up perfectly with that monthly, right? Remember, the monthlies, go back. The monthly was May 3rd, wasn't it? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I'm on the wrong drawing set. Give me a moment. Yeah, May 30th, sorry. May 30th on the monthly. And now on the weekly, change drawing set. We've got May 8th. Okay, so for the month, for whatever the reason, feeder cattle, the month of May, from the beginning of May to like the end of May, watch out. Price decline. Well, May looks like a month that the feeder cattle would have a price decline. Okay, we're not talking about how much and all that. I'm just giving you time frames today so you can have a better understanding of what's coming up in the future. Okay. One last look at the daily. We'll finish up this video. Okay. So for now, January 26th on the daily chart. Okay, 126. I would expect prices to come down into that. So right now they're sitting on the 50. Would not be surprised to see prices get below this. Though right now it looks like it wants to go up. But as we get closer to January 26th, we'll have to see. It may, maybe, just maybe, get up here and then stall coming around January 26th. But if it doesn't get substantially above this 50-day moving average between now and January 26th, then I expect prices to come below it. Okay. If it gets above it, then prices might just stall and do a little dip. But if it stays tracking along the 50 on the daily chart here, and the closer we get to the 26th, then I think it's just going to come below the 50. So that's what we're going to be watching for, okay? Watch for that. Okay, wow, that was a long video. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys and gals, premium members. That's it for now. Talk to you all real soon again next time.